there's always this thing as a one game that really, it's not haunting you, haunted you for a long time, but something that you cannot really, the longest time you got over it, or a certain game that you
let go of, yeah.
Yeah, let it go.
That's easy. That's the Centennial Team.
Yeah.
Sure. One that sticks with me all the time, and it's particularly the Korean game in the semifinal.
Coach, I'm sorry. Before you continue, let me just say this: we still love you. We love the Centennial Team.
I tell you, I felt like the most unloved person in the world at that moment when we lost to Korea, and then, of course, we lost to China as well the next game. But we played great against China, and we had a chance to beat China. And China ended up beating Korea by 40 points in the finals. So we lost to them by 5 or 7 points, and 5 points I think it was. And it was the first time they hadn't won by more than double digits in like 3 or 4 years in that national team in Asia. So we played them really well. And then we ended up beating Kazakhstan and getting the bronze. But that was a moment where that broke me. When that thing was all over and all finished, I was a broken man. That was a tough time for me. Tough time. I feel like I let the whole country down, and felt like, all the weight of it. And it took me a while to recover. When I got back to the PBA and started coaching the PBA, and I noticed this about all the national team coaches. When they actually returned to their team, it was a struggle to get emotionally back into the game, and back into their own players, and moving forward from it. Because the national team is just so different, You're playing you're coaching for not for yourself anymore, or even for your players. You're coaching for something that's so much bigger. And when you don't succeed, it feels like such a bigger failure, and it's hard to shake. And I went probably 2 or 3 conferences before I started to really feel like myself again, coaching in the PBA. And I noticed that with Yang, I noticed that with Chuck Reyes, I noticed that with Norman Black. I think it's kind of like a natural letdown that you have. But it was an emotional time, tough time. I still think about that a lot. That's one I can't move off from. There's been a few other games too, but ultimately, you don't get a chance to do the Asian games again. So PBA, you lose a championship or you lose a big game, you got the next game coming up. So you learn to move it, get rid of it and move forward, because if you take that one into the next one, it's going to be a distraction, and you're not going to bring your best into the next game, and chances are you lose. Now, I must add, early in my career, when I was starting off with Alaska, I did not understand that at all. I did not understand that idea of moving forward. And we used to have these 5, 6, 7 game losing streaks with Alaska, and I would wonder, what am I doing wrong? But what would happen is that every time we'd lose, I'd get a little bit more depressed, a little bit more angry. I'd come into practice angry. And of course, if I'm coming into practice angry, the players are playing angry, and everybody, they're gibbering, and it wasn't until I learned to put it away and come in with a better attitude that I started to discover, hey, this works. And then I started reading about Phil Jackson and stuff, and I started to, add on to what I was thinking. And then I started experimenting with that more, and I just started finding more success.